Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys, please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate that. But with that being said, let's just dive in. So first off, let me make sure that we have a Bitcoin up on the chart here. So there you guys have it. I'm going to refresh it, make sure everything is updated. So there we have Bitcoin sitting at about 38.9K. If we come down, we can kind of see some of the market movements, for the most part, red. Not too much movement across the board for some altcoins. Hedera sitting at around like 21 cents. Not too much trading volume in. It's still down about 2.74%. But for the most part, what I am watching today actually isn't even altcoins. I'm more so, watching Bitcoin in terms of reactions to the major indices. As you guys do see, over here, you guys can see the major indices right now. These are doing pretty well today. Obviously, you guys can watch these right now live. They do close today in a little bit. I mean, we still have some time, honestly, until they do close. But for the most part, the dollar as well, doing exactly what we have been waiting for it to do, which is rejecting off of a nice point. We were waiting for the 702 rejection. We climbed a little bit higher, which is totally fine. I mean, candle wicks above is totally fine, but looks like we are now breaking below the 702. I'm hoping that we actually have like a nice little free fall event here, which drops us down below the 618 at around 97.76 almost. That's a nice point for us to kind of watch for right now, because any major impulse on the dollar will push crypto and stocks much higher. We don't want to see something where we see a lot of strength in the dollar. I've addressed this in my XRP video from yesterday. So I'm really hoping that this continues like this. I think that this will be very, very crucial for crypto right now, especially if you want altcoins to continue to move up. So I'm watching the dollar and the major indices throughout this week, as you guys are probably all aware of. But with that being said, let's move on and let's talk about some exciting things. So first off, let's talk about this incredible statistic. This is talking more so about Hedera accounts. And we do see the total account has been increasing 48.5 thousand accounts in February 2022. We're gradually growing. This is only the beginning. And this is exactly, what I've been telling you guys to watch for. I don't care about, price action too much. I care about the development of the ecosystem. We are seeing mass adoption of the ecosystem happening day in and day out on Hedera. We've been seeing NFTs continuing to, skyrocket on Hedera. I just announced that we're moving over to Zeus for crypto moonboys. And honestly, when we're talking about NFTs and NFT projects within the Hedera ecosystem, they're looking incredible. There's a lot that are coming out that are very, very high quality, and I'm just excited to see the ecosystem continuing to grow like that and the demand for it to rise as well. I really do think that Hedera at some point in time will be the NFT king. I think that we will usurp a lot of Ethereum. When we talk about Ethereum compared to Hedera, there's really no comparison, especially from the NFT, side of things. So I really do think that a lot of the adoption happening on, Ethereum will soon move over to Hedera. Now, with that in mind, also talk about some major bullishness for the metaverse. Here's some brands that filed for metaverse trademarks: Nike, Vans, Puma, L'Oreal, Walmart. There's so many names behind the scenes that are moving in on crypto. And again, when we are talking about the metaverse, we know that Hedera is moving in on the metaverse as well. I'm just excited for a lot of these major markets to really kind of grow within the ecosystem of Hedera as well. But we have been seeing a lot of talks around even banks and institutions moving in on crypto, as well as a lot of regulation talks, which I believe is going to be a major catalyst for a lot of utility gems. And I'm definitely watching Hedera closely, because we all know that Hedera has been one of the most compliant crypto assets within the space, and it's also an enterprise grade asset. And what is going to spark the enterprise grade adoption in this market? Well, it's going to be regulations. And of course, it all starts with a few industries. It starts with NFTs. We've seen major names moving in on NFTs. Now we're seeing major names moving in on metaverse. Then it's going to be DeFi. After that, who knows what the next big thing will officially be. Now, we do see here U.S. state Virginia will allow banks to offer crypto custody services. Virginia Senate Friday unanimously approved a bill that allows banks in the state to provide crypto custody services, granted they have enough resources to manage the associated risk. This is huge. We are now seeing banks moving in on crypto. Not only that, but we've also been seeing enterprises. Like I said, enterprise and institutional grade money is flowing in. Here's a massive institutional grade client. Morgan Stanley owns at least $458 million worth of Grayscale Bitcoin trust shares according to filings. The position represented between 0.7% and 1.1% of the net assets across 17 funds. Guys, I want you to realize the major demand that is happening right now behind crypto. Also, we do see here, while regulation is often, criticized by the crypto community, could it be a key to mass adoption? And here we have Christian B. of SEBA says the presence of regulated counterparties creates a secure way for institutions and their stakeholders to access, to the sector. This is exactly what I've been telling you guys for the longest time. Everyone is scared of regulations within the space, but if done right, it's really going to accelerate, crypto entirely. How do you, believe that we're going to hit $10 trillion plus in market cap value without massive amounts of money pouring in? A lot of the money that is, scared money, if you will, that's waiting on the sidelines is waiting for regulations to happen anyways. And once regulations do happen, I believe that is such a massive catalyst for all of crypto. It's not just, for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, for this, for that. No, it's for this entire market. We're also going to see a lot of assets, kind of disappear, which is totally fine with me. I mean, there's a ton of assets within the space. I mean, there's 18,000 plus crypto assets. We're going to see a lot of crypto assets just disappear. It's because regulations will kill a lot of those meme assets that don't have any true utility behind them. I think regulations are really good for, those utility gems. I've talked to you guys about XRP, XDC, Casper, Hbar, QNT. A lot of these utility gems, they hold a place in this market that are going to be here forever. Okay, a lot of these assets that a lot of individuals are putting their money into, though, have no white paper. They have no, true vision behind them. This is exactly an issue that is trying to be solved through regulations. And also, just, remember, this week, we're seeing Biden planning to sign an executive order on crypto. Now, is this going to hurt crypto? Who knows? We don't know what this really involves, but we do see the order would direct federal agencies to consider potential regulatory changes in addition to the national security and economic implications of cryptocurrencies. The White House has been under pressure to play a more central role in setting policies for and regulating digital assets. That pressure has only increased with the sanctions imposed against Russia for its invasion of Ukraine and concerns that companies and individuals could use cryptocurrencies to circumvent them. The White House has been working on the order since last year, and in January, reports surfaced that the order was coming soon. The order will require federal agencies to report later this year on the progress with respect to dealing with digital tokens, according to Bloomberg, and CoinDesk has reached out to the White House to confirm the report, but had not received an answer by press time. Now, with all this in mind, okay, I really do believe that we're going to see a lot of issues arise in terms of sustainability. I think that sustainability is going to be a key aspect here. This is, again, why I do hold a ton of Hbar, because we know it's the greenest technology in the space currently. And when we are talking about being carbon negative, that is a huge selling point. And it's also an issue from, governments when they're looking into cryptocurrencies and they're seeing, for example, Bitcoin taking up massive amounts of energy, which is not good. It's something that is frowned upon, especially from, adoption standards. So when you're an institutional player, an enterprise player, or just maybe, you want to adopt crypto in general, a lot of individuals' main focus point is not only sustainability, but it's also efficiencies. And a lot of those efficiencies are lackluster, especially in the proof of work area. Now, with all this in mind, with regulations in mind, with a ton of adoption happening, we also see Tether being minted. Now, I'm not saying, this means that we're going to pump, but we usually know that when Tether gets minted, we usually see a nice price spike throughout the market. This is probably why we are seeing a lot of price movement on Bitcoin, but honestly, the price movement that we are seeing on Bitcoin and any impulse happening from here on out will be totally reliant on, of course, the dollar and stocks. We know that stocks have been in the spotlight, especially with what's happening overseas. With all of this in mind, I do want to see the Dow Jones reach its main point of, almost 40K plus. It's going to take some time, but, my all-time high, or I shouldn't say all-time high, but my topping point for the Dow Jones before we do see a massive correction is going to be between that 40 to 45K mark. And we still have some time to get there. But for the most part, I'm watching stocks closely because I do believe that this will tell us when we will see a massive economic decline in stocks, which of course will lead us into a bear market throughout crypto as well. Now, in terms of, mass adoption happening for crypto and, the bull run and all that kind of talk, here we have the Bitcoin chart update. Price action is respecting accumulation zone we draw a few weeks ago. Macro perspective is still bullish until Bitcoin makes a lower low. And this is what I've been telling you guys for the longest time. I'm still very bullish on crypto on the macro perspective because there's really nothing telling us, hey, Bitcoin's in a bear market. Everyone wants to scream from the top of the, hill saying, hey, Bitcoin's in a bear market. We're going to, this number, that number. But there's really nothing to back it. When you're talking about the price chart, I've always said, look at the September low. Look at the August low. When we officially broke down below the September low, I instantly said, watch that August low. And here is the point, where we are basically kind of accumulating on. And, again, this is a higher low going all the way back to the summertime. And as long as we kind of hold above this point, we're all good. As long as we don't lose around 37, K, we're really good on Bitcoin. There's really not a lot of strength at all that we've lost on Bitcoin. We're still in this nice overall pattern. And I would say that Bitcoin still looks very good for that nice major impulse to some key targets, which I've always said, watch for around 80 to 85K with possibilities of 100K plus. But things are looking very good. Even from Credible Crypto's standpoint, here we have, accumulation on Bitcoin. You guys can really see it here as well. I mean, for the most part, there's really nothing to be concerned about. I believe that we will see a new all-time high on Bitcoin eventually this year. I'm watching, the price charts accordingly, and I'm also watching the major factors which will lead us to that point, which is, of course, the major indices and even the dollar. I believe that the Dow Jones has one last major rally left in it, and that rally will bring us to around 40 to 45K. That point is where we do start to risk out, because that's where we do see, of course, the markets massively inflated. That's when we will expect a major correction to happen on the Dow Jones. I've always addressed this even in terms of the 2008 crisis. I know a lot of individuals don't really bring that up a lot, but honestly, when you're looking at the 2008 macro view to, now, you can really kind of see the market structure that we are in. And let's actually kind of look at that real quick. So here's the 1 week price chart. Let's go back a little bit in time. And I just really want to quickly address this in this video before I do end it. So here you have the 2008 crisis. As you guys do see, this, made a nice solid upward trend. We topped out a little bit at about it was almost 14,000 exact, and then of course we had that collapsing structure all the way down to almost 50% of a retracement on the Dow Jones. So if we are talking about going to 40,000, I have that 45K mark targeted up here. If we go that high and we have a 50% structure rebound, we're looking at 20,000 to 22,500. So with all of that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.